Well, I first want to say thank you so much for doing this. As a fan of the show, just getting the chance to talk to any of the contestants has been a little cherry on top for 13-year-old me that used to watch the show. So I thank you so much for doing this.
Oh my goodness, 13, you were 13.
I was.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for even this just I'm glad that you asked, and I'm glad that you created the page, and it's a chance for me to share my my past with the new generation, especially like my nieces and my nephew who weren't even born, you
Hmm.
know. So this means a lot to me, and I hopefully I won't cry because I've been very emotional lately, and I just cried before I got on here with you, so I may cry.
All right. Well, I want to welcome everybody, Madam CJ, to the show. We're going to talk a little bit about her pop star journey, life after pop stars, and then her current day. So, a
Yeah.
little quick history. How did you get into the entertainment field, such as dancing, singing? Like, what sparked that interest in you?
Oh my goodness, I have always loved music and performing, dancing. I remember one one thing I remember, a few things I remember. My family, my dad is a singer. So I got the gift from him. However, my mother, when she divorced him, we moved in with her parents and had a big home, and her sisters were still there. And my aunts would play music, Prince, Whitney Houston, Shaka Khan, Anita Baker. Those are the sounds that I grew up with, Tina Turner. So I loved music. But I have a vivid memory of me being, I want to say about 3 years old, 4 years old. There was a festival downtown in Memphis. And I vividly remember me being up on like this brick wall above everybody else. And I was up there dancing, moving my little body. And I never forget it. There were a crowd of people watching me. And my mom, she was beaming with pride, and I was not scared. I have a vivid remember a memory of that. And then one day, my aunt, she recorded me singing. Back in the day, they had these big stereo systems, and you could plug a mic in, and you could record on a tape cassette. You could record yourself, and that's how we recorded music back then. And she had a mic, and she asked me to sing Anita Baker's Angel in that portable stereo recorder, well, that mic. And I recorded it on the tape, and she was so, my aunt asked me to do that. My aunt Gail, she's no longer with us, but that was when I was pretty much like, okay, this is what I want to do. And when cable TV first came out, because TV used to go off, it used to go off at 12 p.m. There was no TV after 12 p.m. Then cable was invented. And Whitney Houston was the first Black woman that I saw on MTV. And she was singing a remake of Donny Hathaway's song, The Greatest Love of All. That is not her song, that's a remake. And it showed her in that video with her mother. And that was the first time I'd ever seen anyone who remotely looked like my family on TV singing on the record, in on a video. And when I saw her, I was like, yeah, I have to do that. That's what I want to do.
Nice, nice. Just having representation always matters so much, you know?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So fast forward a little bit, how
Mhm.
did you hear about the Pop Stars audition?
Oh my goodness. So we had a weekly newspaper here in Atlanta, a weekly underground newspaper called Creative Loafing. And I would get that, I would pick, you would see it all over the city. And I would read that, and there would be auditions and jobs in the back of the newspaper, like the classifieds.
Okay.
It was pretty much like Craigslist, but it was actual newspaper. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so I was looking for a job, for gigs, And I saw that the WB was having auditions for a girl group. And it was going to be at the Georgian Terrace, or the audition started at the lineup started at 6 a.m. in the morning. I was not a stranger to getting up early and doing what I needed to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to this audition. And when I got there, I was number 22 in line.
Okay. Pretty early on in the line.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So that's how I found out about it. The Creative Loafing. It was a legitimate audition, and I got there. There was a line, and I was like, okay.
All right. So once getting there and actually seeing, I guess, the production of it, did you have any like second ideas of like, should I do this? Should I not? Or were you all game and you were like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do the best I can?
That I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the best I can, because prior or before that, when I was a little girl, I tried out for majorette 3 to 4 times. I never made it, but I kept going back, and then my 5th time trying it, I made it. So I always had this spirit of never giving up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's the type of spirit you need in order to make it in that industry. It's crucial. As
Exactly.
far as, okay, so I feel like you were one of the contestants that they were able to showcase a little more. I know that
Hmm.
some of the other girls got a little bit more screen time, but then there was some girls that got nothing at all.
Yeah.
So we were able to, like, as far as audience and viewers, we were able to connect with you and with your story.
Yeah.
So going back to the callback auditions and the dance auditions, what was your whole thought process of that? Like, just working with the girls and working with, at that time, those judges.
Oh my goodness. So I knew that I didn't have formal training like some of those other girls. Like when I showed up in line, Crystal Petit, well, her name was Crystal Donahue
Hmm.
then, but she was number 20. I was 21, she was 22. Or yeah, I was 21, she was 22. And the numbers. And
Hmm.
so when I heard her sing, I was like, oh my God. I heard her sing, I heard Shonda sing in Atlanta audition, and I was just like, these girls can sing. They can sing for real, for real. And I was like, well, I'm gonna do the best that I can. And then when I saw who the judges were, I was like, okay, all I can do is show up and do what I do, you know? And that's what I did. I had a lot of confidence at the time, even though I did not have formal training. I didn't take my first ballet class till I was 28. When I showed up at that audition, I was 26. I was one of the oldest girls there.
Oh, wow. I do
Yeah.
remember, yeah, I forgot who I was talking to recently. I think it was Shonda. And to me,
Hmm.
it's just so crazy to see the amount of talent that was there. And a lot of you guys were very, very young. I feel like anything between your 18 to like even like 30, like it
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
very, very young to be thrown in that type of audition process. And it was
Yeah.
also one of the earlier TV show singing reality competitions out there as well.
Yeah, it was the first one that I know of in America, because they had did it like in Europe, pop stars.
Mhm.
And so they brought it over to America, and we were before American Idol.
Yeah,
So
yeah, guys.
we were the first music competition TV show that actually made it onto a major network at the time.
Yeah.
And
So
you
then
talked to Shonda. Let me just say this: you talked to Shonda.
I did.
When
I
did you talk to Shonda?
I just talked to her, I want to say I think a week ago, maybe two, but I recently just talked to Crystal as well.
Yes, because I keep in touch with Crystal. I lost touch with Shonda, and I wondered how Shonda was doing, because Shonda was one of Left Eye's proteges.
Yes, we talked about that. We did. The interview will be up very soon. I'm actually currently
Okay,
editing,
okay,
so it'll
okay,
be out soon.
okay.
Um, but then once you heard that you actually were gonna be one of the 26 that was gonna fly to LA, what was your thought process? What was your feelings?
Oh my goodness! First of all, let me just say that I really connected with James Foster Levy.
Okay.
She really liked me, and I thought that she was just so cool. I mean, Travis was cool.
Hmm.
Jennifer, she was okay, but me and James really connected. She was the one that called me on my phone to let me know that I was going to go to LA. And
Mhm.
I was so freaking excited because it was just like my grandmother had just passed away. I was dealing with that. I was dealing with, all of the angst of being a 26-year-old trying to find myself and know who I am. And for them to say, hey, you could come to LA and compete in this, to be a part of the singing group. I was so excited. I remember going shopping and getting a few things from little 5 Points, to make sure I had the look when I got to LA. So it was a dream come true.
And then obviously you auditioned in Atlanta, so you got to work with those
Mm-hmm.
contestants that auditioned there. But once getting to LA and seeing the rest of the competition, did that change anything in you, or you were still like, let's do this?
Oh my God. When we got to the airport in Atlanta, okay, first of all, Baby was one of the first people that I saw. And then Crystal. So I was like, okay, my girls, they made it. Because we didn't know who made it. We
Oh,
could
okay,
not
okay.
tell. We kept in touch, but we could not say I made it because that was a big NDA. They sent a big NDA, and it was like, if you say anything, you're gonna be sued. And I'm like, girl, I ain't got no money. I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody.
Right?
I got to the airport in Atlanta. I saw Baby and her big hair coming. I'm like, oh my God. Then I saw Chris. I was like, oh my God, yes. And then Nicole Scherzinger, child. She was not from Atlanta, but when I saw her, I was like, oh shit. This girl is gonna make it. I knew she was gonna make it. Then she was my seatmate.
Okay.
So we talked and she let me hear her demos and I could hear that she could sing, honey. And I was just thinking to myself, well, same thing in Atlanta. I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. And if I don't make it, it's fine. I was a little intimidated, but at the same time, I was like, just go with the flow. You've been going with the flow, go with the flow.
Exactly. Do
Mm-hmm.
you remember? Well, actually, I think they did show it on the show. Keithalyn was your roommate, right?
Oh, Keithlyn, yes, she was. And she was, oh my God, Keithlyn was so sweet. She was actually married at the time, which I thought was so just like mind blowing because she was young.
Yeah, I posted a photo of her and she reblogged it and she did write down that if she could go back and talk to that girl, she was like, I was so young, I was so married, and I was like, oh my God, like it's funny because as a viewer, even
Mhm.
though these episodes were short and the entire series was not that long, but like I really like just wanted like more of each contestant, if that made sense. Like I wanted to know their story more. So when we didn't get to see that, and obviously when people got cut, I was like, oh, like, and that's why like one of the things right now with this page, like I am loving seeing everyone's post live and what they've been doing, what projects have they worked on to me. So like I'm like, oh, I could finally hear those stories from way back then. And even though it was forever ago, I'm having a ball listening to all those stories.
Well, thank you so much for asking, and thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate you doing that. Because I had my own stuff that I had to work through and get myself together. I just had surgery.
Hmm.
It'll be a year ago in July where I had to have 37 tumors removed. Thankfully, I'm healthy. Thankfully, I still have all of my organs, and I'm feeling much better. I can think clearly and be able to do this with you. So I'm so grateful that you still wanted to talk to me, and I'm just grateful to answer any questions that you have.
No, thank you, thank you. As far as you and Keithlyn, do you have any stories that you could probably share, like you guys as roommates, or any advice that maybe she gave you or you gave her?
Oh my goodness. At the time, I was seeing someone, and the song that they had us auditioning for in LA. I'm not as nice as you
Yeah.
think I am. I'm like, that was what was going on in my life for real.
So you can
And
relate to it.
I could really connect to that song. I couldn't sing it as good as I can sing it now, but I was sharing with people and I was like, I think I'm gonna be okay because I'm living this right now. And this guy, he's really like, I just need some advice, And she was like, just come in here and come do what you need to do, sing the song and think about, what it is that you're going through. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. So, but she was, I mean, Keelan was very, very sweet, a very sweet person.
And then as far as being in the LA workshop,
Hmm. Hmm.
what do you feel was what like did you learn the most that like stuck with you during that entire competition, whether if it was from another contestant or from the judges themselves? Because you guys, I know in the show, like I mean, they made it seem like the workshop was like 3 4 days, but talking to some of the contestants, they were saying that they were there for a very long time and they shot a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't even show on the show as well.
Hmm.
So what do you remember taking from the workshop?
Well, what do I remember taking from the workshop? Really, um, it was a lot. It was a lot of pressure. I remember it being a lot of pressure. I remember when I finally got to LA and I saw, all of the other contestants and what they had to offer, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not sure this is really for me. And also, just the energy of LA, it was not the same as what Atlanta was like for me. I felt like everybody they were on a different wavelength than what I was used to in Atlanta. Atlanta at the time was very black. And LA, it just seemed so plastic to me. And so that basically um, informed how I showed up when I came back to the workshop. I was just like, you know what? All right, I don't think I'm gonna continue on. I don't think I want this as much as these other girls, and I definitely don't want to be out here in LA.
And then when you got eliminated, you were one of the contestants from the very first round to get
Yeah.
eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
How did that feel? As a viewer, we did see that it was an emotional thing for you, so we were able to see that.
Yeah.
But like, what was your thought process once knowing that you were not going to be part of the group?
Well, it was some relief, some disappointment, but definitely some relief, because now being this age that I am and looking back in hindsight, it's like the group didn't last that long.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things that artists go through in mainstream music industry, they are exploited, they are abused, they are taken advantage of. And that definitely was a lifesaver for me.
Yeah. A lot of the stories that you hear from, even in general, just watching, because I love music, so I'm always watching
Yes,
documentaries on any artist, any genre. But a lot of the times you do hear that it's a very hard and dark industry to be a part of.
it
So
is. It is. I was actually telling one of my colleagues that yesterday. He was here, and his aunt used to be the makeup artist for everybody at LaFace Records in the 90s. And
oh,
so I was talking to him about what we're talking about now and realizing how how and why Beyonce's mother and dad were in her life, and basically, not just her parents, but in her music career life, and still are to this day, because you need a foundation. Had I made that group, I know, had I made that group at that time, I would have self-destructed.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Everything,
I'm
yeah, I
grateful.
mean, everything happens for a reason.
It sure does.
As far as overall, just the whole experience for pop stars,
Hmm.
what was your favorite experience, or what was your favorite part of it? Like, what do you just like randomly one day think back and like, ah, that was such a good memory. Like, what if you could just say one thing? What would it be?
Nikki McKibbin.
Nikki.
Nikki McKibbin, that was my girl. She was my girl. Like when I got let go, when I got cut, she was the first one was like, fuck this shit. And pulled out a little mini bottle of Crown Royal and a cigarette, honey. I went and got me some beer from the liquor store, and we had a time out there at the Beverly Garland Hilton Hotel where we stayed.
Is it? I don't
Yeah,
remember the name, to be
that's the
honest.
name
But
of it, Beverly
okay.
Garland Hilton, because that was Judy Garland's sister. And so, but that's where we stayed. And when I got cut, she was like, "Fuck these people." Her and Alexander Bachelet. Yeah.
Oh, Alexandra. Yes. Both.
Hmm.
I love both Alexandra and Nikki on the show. And then I love watching Nikki's journey on American Idol. And Alexandra, too. She auditioned for Idol as well.
Yes.
After the show started and premiered, did you
Hmm.
watch the show and what did you take of it? Did you feel like they edited you guys good, or did you enjoy watching it, or was it like, oh, I can't watch this?
Oh my goodness, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great show. I watched the whole first season of it, and and then when they got to Mari, was her name Mari? Because she
Or
wasn't in audition. I think
oh, for the next batch of girls,
yeah,
Miley.
Miley. Miley. Yes. Because Anna Maria, let me just say this. I loved Anna Maria's voice. Anna Maria could sing, honey, her tone, everything. She was a star, you know.
Mhm.
And she had experience performing with her family anyway. But I watched it. I was so happy to see that Rosanna had made it, Nicole had made it, Anna Maria had made it. But I didn't know the Miley girl. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, somebody. And then when I found out that Katie, she was like, no, I don't want to do it. I was like, oh, okay. So that's why they went and found Miley. But
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed watching the show. I enjoyed, how they represented me. I did not feel slighted in any kind of way. And just to go back and to see that, first of all, that you were 13 and that you still love pop stars so much. And then when I share the clips that you have shared on Instagram on my personal page, the kids that weren't even born yet and they see it, they're like, oh my God, you did. Yes, that's me. It's like, it makes me feel good to know that people really wanted to connect with us and see, this show and see what we're doing now. So
Yeah, one of the things too that I always hear is that like the new audience, whether if it's kids or cousins or nephews that weren't
mhm,
alive during the actual show airing, so
mhm,
they're always like, "Oh my God, like I forgot about this," or "Thank you for sharing. Now I can share with everyone else."
mhm.
Did you ever, and I mean, kind of hearing what you just said, I don't
Mhm.
think you would, but did you ever consider auditioning for the second season of Pop Stars?
You talking about at that time?
Yes, when the second season, like when they were holding auditions again for season 2 of
Oh,
Pop Stars.
no, I didn't. I wasn't even there anymore. As far as like, wanting to be a part of a group or anything like that. Um, because that was in 2001,
Yes,
right?
correct. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I was actually by 2003, I was prepared to be my own solo artist. Like I started um working with live band and performing at open mics and just really honing my craft and trying to figure out what my voice was and what I wanted to say. And I knew that I did not want to go back and do any more auditions for any type of singing group.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think once, especially if you not necessarily experience it, but once you do something, you're kind of like, okay, I checked that. I already did that. On to the next thing. Like, what could I do next that is gonna
Yeah.
me grow as an individual and as an artist itself too.
Oh, definitely, because when I saw the actual audition in the Creative Loafing, it just popped up. Like it wasn't something that I planned, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, I have to go do this. So I
Mhm.
checked it off my list.
I know. And talking about you're talking about music. You have quite a few EPs and music out there on social media. Can you dive a little bit into that as far as like what was the process of recording that? What are maybe some of your favorite tracks and overall just experience of working on music?
Oh my goodness, I have them right here. Let me grab one of them.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
well,
go
both
for
of them.
it.
I have two EPs.
Mhm.
I have two EPs. One is called "That's Madam to You," and the first one is called Juke, Juke. That was my first one that I released on my own. I released that one in 2009. And that's basically a 5-song EP where it's mostly dance music. It's all dance music. And then the second one is called That's Matter to You. And I released that one in 2011. And that's basically my R&B soul effort. And that one was produced by Tommy Martin, who is a legendary guitar player, session guitar player. He's played with Michael Jackson, Madonna, TLC, all of the LaFace records, Stevie Nicks, Elton John. Like, his resume is crazy, but he became like my music mentor, like my music big brother. Nice. And so he recorded my second EP for me. Well, he executive produced it. And then I had Daz IQ approached me in Miami as I was going down there for the Winter Music Conference in 2010. He approached me about remixing one of my songs. And Daz IQ is one of the founders of Broken Beat House. It's a genre in house where the music is just infectiously funky. Mm-hmm. And so he's one of the founders of that. His collective is called Bugs in the Attic, and BUGZ in the Attic. And they used to do a party with Jazzanova at the WMC that I'm talking about non-stop dancing in Miami. Like, this was before we weren't bringing no cell phones in there because we came to dance, okay? But
I know it's such a different vibe now with phones out.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like it takes away from the experience.
It does. But we're going back to that. So he approached me about remixing Smell Yourself, which is my song about, being who you are, owning who you are, loving who you are, not being insecure about who you are. Mm-hmm. And when we released that song, that remix, I had just became a Nichiren Buddhist. I had just started practicing Buddhism. And I was like, if I'm supposed to be a singer, I need for this, I need a sign, right? So we released that song on a Sunday in 2012. Tuesday, I get a call from someone who I used to date, and they're like, I see a text. He says, I see you charting. And I'm like, what are you talking about, charting? And he was like, your song debuted at number 8 on the top 20 most essential soulful house tracks on tracksource.com. And tracksource.com is the house music source for DJs, producers, anybody who loves house music, dance music, EDM. That is the source. So I'm like, wait a minute, what? Number 8? So I called Daz and I said, Daz, do you know somebody at TrackSource? He was like, no, why you know? Why you asking me that? I said, because our song debuted at number 8 in the top 20. And he was like, no, I got my head down in the dungeon trying to get these other releases out. I don't know anything that's happening. He did not know. He wasn't aware. So long story short, I say all of that to say, I am supposed to be a voice in, this industry. However, I'm supposed to get it out.
That's debuting at number 8.
Yes. Can we pause? It was 2012. Yes.
Currently, do you see yourself recording any more EPs, any new music, or is that something that's maybe paused for a minute?
Well, no, because I actually have an idea that's been sitting in my spirit for like the past 12 years ago. Yeah. So the past 12 years, I've had this idea that has been sitting in my spirit that I want to record, I want to get out because I do enjoy singing, and I feel like it's time for my voice to be heard again, especially with the younger generation and what you all have to deal with now. I mean, the issues are still the same, they don't want us to exist. They only want the straight white male to exist. And it's like, no, you all are not the majority. The majority are people of color, Black people, gay people, trans people. You are not the majority. So these kids need to hear voices like mine. They need to
Exactly.
see faces like mine. They need to see, natural looking hair like mine, you know? So
Hmm.
I really am focused on now getting, um, re-releasing my music and also creating visuals where the
Oh,
kids
nice.
see. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now.
Oh, well, I'm excited for that.
Thank you so
And
much.
then I also know that you were on the cover of Essence magazine.
Oh my goodness. So that was actually that hasn't happened yet. That was actually before social media. So this woman, her name is Julie
Uh-huh.
Yarbrough. She's a photographer in Atlanta. And at the time, she had so that was right when Janelle Monáe had came out. We had just
Mhm.
opened for Janelle Monáe because I worked with a young man named Robbie. And we were doing an event at Black Gay Pride. This was in 2005. And
Okay.
so there was a banner. You know how you go to an event and there's a banner, you take a picture.
Mhm.
And so you could choose which cover after you took your picture, you could choose what you wanted your picture to go on.
Oh, I
And
see.
I always wanted to be in Essence magazine since I was a little girl. And
Okay,
that was
see,
one of the choices.
no wonder because when I was talking to Shonda, I was telling her that even up to this day, I still go on eBay, I go online to look for any sort of pop stars merchandise. This right here, it's a board game. Do you guys know you guys had a board game?
No.
It
Are you
is,
serious?
yeah, it's a board game. And then they use like some of your guys' pictures, like here's Shonda,
Oh my
Phoebe.
goodness.
So it's like an actual board game. But like I go online to look for any sort of pop stars like merch, and then I also have gone online to look at for any of your guys' like solo projects, whether if it's an album, maybe like a demo, or if you guys were part of magazines. And I've searched and searched, but no wonder it was an
Yes.
actual. Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yes.
Because I
Yeah,
saw
and
it
I actually have
online.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the hard copy in front of my Gohunsen in there. But it's not an actual real Essence
There
magazine.
was also quite a few projects that you worked on. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where did I write it down? Looking at my little notes.
Okay.
Uh Trigger warning with Killer Mike docuseries. How did that happen?
Oh my goodness. So I got a call one day. I was at work because I will go to work. The girls need to know if your dreams are not happening for you fast enough, please keep a job because you still got to pay the bills. So I
Mhm.
was at work and I get a phone call from a young man who just recently passed away. And he called me and he was like, Madam CJ, I have an opportunity for you. I would like to, I told the producers about you. And if you could come to this audition tomorrow at this time, we would love to see you. And make sure you dress fly and just bring your whole personality. And I was like, okay, And he told me what it was for. And I was like, okay. And I went the next day and showed up. And when I got there, everything was on camera and they liked me. I said exactly what they needed me to say. I didn't know what they needed me to say, but
Mhm.
everything that I said, it was in alignment with what they wanted. And so I got the part and ended up being in 2 episodes. And it was just a great experience.
Nice.
And people do know me from that. I meet people all the time and they're like, I know you from somewhere. I've seen you on TV. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
And then also, I saw when I was doing my research, I saw that you were in a music video featuring, well, I guess you were the feature, but you worked with Ruben Swift? Swift? Ruben
Okay,
Swift?
so his name is DJ Swift,
Oh,
Ruben
okay.
Vidal, aka Swift, DJ Swift. Um, but so Swift actually approached me right after Daz approached me. He was like, I wrote that song. I had wrote well, it was a poem, but he approached me about recording. I want to say 2013, 2014. And I
Uh-huh.
recorded that song back then and we released it during the pandemic. We filmed that video the first day we went on lockdown we went out to Sandy Spring, Roswell, to that beautiful scenery that you see.
Yeah, it's
And we kept
gorgeous.
gorgeous. I didn't even know it existed. And he took me
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But we did that video, and people have, I mean, like, it was so timely because the message is, do what you came here to do. Don't procrastinate. Go ahead and do what you came here to do. So yeah, I love that song too. That is the last thing that I released since.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you.
Earlier you did talk a little bit about your fibroids, and I wanted to see if you wanted to talk a little bit about that as far
Yeah.
as your experience, awareness, and I mean, like I said, you did mention a little bit where you're at now with it, but if you wanted to share with the viewers a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. I was diagnosed with ovarian cysts when I was a teenager, and I was diagnosed with fibroids. They turned into fibroids. Uh, Maybe 20 years later. So I was 35 when I was diagnosed, and I did not know much about it, but I started, basically the diagnosis helped me learn more about the condition. It helped me learn more about, myself as a woman. Helped me learn more about nutrition, how stress affects us, how hormonal health, and things that I needed to know anyway as a young woman.
Mhm.
I just was saying today on my Instagram live that they have been a benefit. The diagnosis has been a benefit for me to step into my personal power and my power as or step into my feminine power. So if someone is diagnosed with fibroids, it is not a death sentence. It is nothing to be ashamed of. It is nothing to be down about. It is an opportunity to learn more about yourself. It is an opportunity to really tap into the power that is the womb and the hormones and just taking good care of yourself.
And then as far as you said, so it taught you a little bit more how to take care of yourself, how to listen to your body. And
Mm-hmm.
that kind of makes me want to jump into your company, what you
Mm,
have started as far as your Divine Clementine Bath and Body.
yeah.
And like, exactly how was the process of starting that? What made you want to start it?
Oh my goodness. So back when I knew I wanted to be a singer, I always said I wanted to be a doctor, an OBGYN.
Hmm.
And at the time, I did not know that my great great grandmother, my grandmother's grandmother, was a midwife after slavery. And basically, midwives help babies get here. And so, you know, my love for the womb and just being a woman um, helped me start Divine Clementine Bath and Body. And also the fibroid diagnosis is what, you know, ignited and inspired me to start the company. But my mentor, so what happened was I was diagnosed, and then my sister, she was like, "You're not going to be able to do the surgery and be down for that long. So try to find another way to deal with the situation." And I found holistic healing, and I found my mentor, Dr. Aisha Faiza, and it was just like everything aligned. And then she taught me about soap making. And when she taught me about soap making, it just opened up a whole new world for me. And so I created Divine Clementine Bath and Body. And so now we are Ghost Milk Bath and Body Product Company. We also offer women's wellness lifestyle services. And we teach
See that.
women basically, how to step into their feminine power and how to take care of themselves.
And I did see that it was a best in ATL in 2016.
Yes, we won the best way to luxuriate. Yes.
And then you recently also became a certified juice therapist.
I did. I did. So during COVID, they were sending out that stimulus money, and I was like, you know what? While I got time, we sitting in the house. I'm gonna get certified for everything.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get certified for everything. So I I got certified to teach liquid motion. I got certified to teach lap riders. I started taking the juice therapist course, but I just finished that because it was a lot of procrastination and life stuff happening.
Mhm.
And I have two more certifications that I got to finish this month. But for the most part, yes, I am all about health and wellness, because if you're not well, you can't do
Exactly. And I feel like I think as people, we sometimes either forget or neglect to take care of ourselves. We will take care of someone else, we will do anything else for any other people, but I think when it comes to us, we don't put ourselves first. So
yes,
you are right on
yes,
that.
yes. And I've been seeing that, because I'm doing this work, I see it, and it's very disheartening. It can be very disheartening.
As far as your products, they're available to purchase online as well, right?
Yes, they are. They can purchase them at our website. And if they are not, well, online, we do, everybody can purchase online, but if they live in Atlanta, they can come purchase from the Grant Park Farmers Market every first and third Sunday during market season, and then at Oakhurst Farmers Market the first Saturday of the month. But we do have an online e-commerce store.
Perfect. So everyone could go out in there and do their purchases.
Yes, they can.
Um, as far as going back to a little bit to pop stars, to this
Hmm.
day, do you stay in contact with any other contestants, or
Oh,
has
oh
it
my.
been busy?
No, me and Crystal, we talk a lot. Me and Crystal, we have stayed in contact. She actually is very connected to my family. I just found out that, well, she graduated from Spelman, and one of my cousins graduated from Spelman. And then she actually knows my cousin's sister-in-law, who is Yara Shahidi's mom. And so I just looked up on Instagram and saw her on a picture with Carrie, and I'm like, that's my cousin's sister-in-law. You know Carrie? And she's like, yes, such and such. So we stay in contact. And then me and Baby, we just reconnected. And Garland, she just found me on Instagram, so we followed each other because Garland was cool too during the auditions. And I started following Rosanna. I want to say when I found her, I think because of you on
Oh,
Instagram. So I see, them on my timeline. I may like a post or whatever, but me and Crystal, yeah, and me and Baby, yeah,
oh, nice, nice.
yeah, yeah.
Is there any other stories that you would want to share, whether if it was either from the show or even personal stories that, as an audience, somebody might like to hear that you
Well,
experienced?
well, let me see. I have a lot of stories. I have so many stories. Um, but I guess the most important thing is to really just make sure that you love yourself no matter what. Love yourself no matter what. Um, don't fall into the trap of perfection because it's a myth. And don't let anybody erase you.
Oh, yes, exactly. Before we head out, would you like to plug in your socials and your company socials so everyone can know exactly where to find the products and to find what you're working on?
Yes. So, um, of course, I am currently on Instagram and Facebook. My Instagram is the real Madam CJ, Thereal Madam CJ, MADAMCJ, and we do have Divine Clementine BB on Instagram as well. I am on YouTube, the real Madam CJ on YouTube. Excuse me. YouTube for Divine Clementine Bath and Body is Divine Clementine Bath Body, but we are actually moving to Patreon. We're moving to Patreon,
Okay.
and I'm still going to be active on Instagram, but I'm basically using that to push people to my Patreon. I'm creating something on Substack right now. And really, I just want to connect more with people in person. So I'm working on things to make sure that we can get together in a room, outside of these social media networks, because we really have to work on reconnecting. The human spirit needs to be in connection and in community, because we're dealing with some challenging times.
Oh, yes, we are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this. Like, I just enjoyed getting to hear your stories, getting to chat with you, and I had been looking forward to it too. I was just like, when we were talking about days and stuff, I was like, okay, and then I was like, oh, it's almost time as the weeks
Yeah.
were getting closer. But I thank you 100% for taking the time out of your busy day, because like you said, you're busy. You're doing all sorts of stuff. So thank you so much for taking this time to chat with me about pop stars, about your life now, and your journey in general.
Well, thank you, Roger. I really appreciate you, and you just being a committed and loyal fan. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And one more thing, our
Yes.
website, we have a blog, Divine Clementine BB. I really want to push people to the blog and to the website, because there are things that I talk about on the blog that I'm not talking about on social media. And I think it's important stuff that people need to know. And so
Okay.
that's that on that. But thank you so much for this. And I appreciate you. And
Oh,
I appreciate you loving the show and just being a reminder of the power of music and the power of connection.
thank you. Thank you so much for that. I
Mhm.
will make sure to, in general too, plug in that blog as well on the Popstar site so people could check that out. So
Okay.
everyone can know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Thank you so much, Roger.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You too, sweetie.
Thank you. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye bye.